Hello, this video is to demonstrate the new AIM update from Educational Access Services to better serve all of our faculty and how they implement accommodations for students. First up is how do you get to the Faculty AIM portal? You're going to want to navigate to Educational Access Services homepage. You can do that by typing into the search bar EAS, or you can go to Getting Help, Accessibility Services, and this will take you straight to our webpage. Most of the emails we send you will also include a link to this portal. You're going to then select AIM for faculty. You'll be directed to a new tab and it will automatically ask you to sign in to your MavZone if you are not already. Once you log in, it will take you to this access policy page, which essentially is our FERPA policy. All disability and accommodation related information is confidential and should be kept so please refrain from using this on a public computer. You'll then hit continue to view student accommodations. On the overview screen, you will see all of the students in your classes that have requested accommodations. You will notice that their last name has been blocked out. That is for privacy purposes. But if you click on the view or PDF, you will be directed to the email faculty notification letter, which includes the student's first and last name as well as their 700 number. This will then list all of their eligible accommodations as well as implementation guidelines and descriptions for these accommodations. If you scroll down, you can also see accommodations that have been added or changed since you got an initial faculty accommodation letter. So this is great information you can come back to throughout the semester. Also on the main screen, once you have viewed a student's accommodations via the AIM portal, the status will change from emailed to read. On the far right, you will also see some module guidelines for accommodations, such as alternative testing, flex plan, and video captioning. If a student has an accommodation that falls under one of these modules, you will see it checked as yes. That typically means that additional steps are required in order to effectively implement these accommodations. You will also notice on the left-hand side the button to upload your syllabus. You're able to select which class you would like to upload it for and title it syllabus or course instruction, course schedule, whatever that looks like for your course. This information is very helpful to EAS to further support your expectations, and the essentials of the course. You can always return to the overview page to see those students' listed accommodations. Alternative testing looks a little bit different. It has some new features. When you land on the alternative testing page in the upcoming exams tab, you will see a little bit of kind of what's on your dashboard to-do list. If you haven't done an accommodated testing agreement, if you have exam requests from students that you don't have a file for, that kind of thing. You can also scroll down and see any upcoming exams requested by a student. You can do a file upload for an upcoming exam right here by selecting this class and then this drop down and whatever the title of it is. If it's exam 1, exam 2, that's really helpful. And then the exam, you're able to upload multiple documents as well. So if there's a resource page that the student is allowed. Also from this dashboard, you can click review exam date instructions. And that will take you to this page where you can give us specific instructions if they're different from what the typical accommodated testing agreement states. So if this exam is different because they're allowed a note card and they're not typically, that's something we want to know, and you can list here and update those exam instructions. Additionally, you can click on the tab across the top that says EAS Accommodated Testing Agreement. This will list all of your courses and whether you have completed or still need to specify your testing agreement. It will also tell you how many students are requesting alternative testing for that class. So if that number is 0, there's no need to do a testing agreement for that class. To specify, you will click on the link that says Specify EAS Accommodated Testing Agreement. This will also be included in your faculty accommodation memo. You will fill out the questions that very much are the same that you are used to with how we are to proctor that exam. It'll also ask you to include your phone number. That's so that we can get a hold of you if we're missing exam information, the exam itself, or just the best way to get in touch to you if we have questions. If your exams are online and do not need to be proctored, you do not need to fill out this testing agreement. This is primarily for exams that are proctored. by you or with software that may inhibit the use of accommodations. Once you complete this, you'll hit that submit and continue to specify exam dates. You can also copy existing alternative testing agreements across platforms. So in that EAS accommodated testing agreement, you'll notice this one says view and modify versus the specify. By clicking on that, there is a link at the top that says copy EAS accommodated testing agreement. You can select the course that you want it to be copied to and then hit continue. It will prompt you if you want the same exams, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those list exams here in a moment. You can choose to not. You can choose to include that exam, but maybe change the day or the time. If you want to use a different file between classes, you certainly can change that. Otherwise, you can leave it all the same and just copy that EAS testing agreement. The list exam dates is a new feature that we're really excited about. It allows instructors to tell us when they are giving the exam for students. So whether that's an exam, a quiz, you will insert the type and then what day you are giving it. If you aren't sure, that's okay. Go ahead and put the first day of that week that you're planning on giving it. This information can always be adjusted. If you want to put the time that you administer the exam, you're welcome to do that. This is probably the most important part. We need to know how long the rest of the class is given in order to apply extension time for accommodated testing. So if you typically give the class the whole time and your class is 50 minutes, you'll just input 50 minutes. And our system will create the extended time needed for that exam. You can list instructions if they're different for this one. Again, if that's a midterm and you allow a note card, but you didn't on regular exams, you can do that here. You can also upload the exam file. The great thing about these listing exam dates, you don't have to wait for the student to request an exam for you to put in these details to already have the test ready to go. So if you have time and you are running through your test and preparing things, you can just add this to your list before a test. Then you'll hit that save exam date and you'll be able to see all of those here under the list exam dates for each of those classes. Another feature of the alternative testing module is you can list students. This will give you a complete list of all of the students in each of your courses that have a testing accommodation, and then it'll give you some other information like if you have exam dates for the class they're in, if you have a student that has requested to schedule an exam with EAS. So lots of great information here that you can use to explore and make sure that we're all on the same page. You can also click all exams. This will give you a list of all exams upcoming that students have requested. Please pay attention to the exam date, as students do put exam requests in well in advance and will sometimes have the final exam already requested. Another brand new feature of AIM is the Flex Plan. We are super excited to offer this as a way to bridge the gap of communication involved with more flexible accommodations such as disability-related absences and extensions for assignments. So you can see here all of the students that have an accommodation related to flexibility and a questionnaire that needs to be completed. Over on the right, it will tell you which accommodation it is for, whether that's flexible turn-in dates or disability-related absences. It'll tell you when the student requested it and when you have completed it once that is done. You'll have different statuses such as not initiated. Faculty are responsible for initiating this process. If it is not completed or initiated by the add drop date for the class, EAS will use the default we have on file, which you can find on the EAS webpage. To initiate a contract or agreement, you're going to hit view and you'll be brought to a new page where there's lots of text available to help you better understand the use and implementation of this accommodation, its intended uses. We have cultivated a list of questions to help guide you in reasonable flexibility for the course. You can also upload your syllabi here. Again, this is really helpful in helping us understand how your course works, what your expectations are, and where that realm of flexibility is ending because it becomes a fundamental alteration to the course. So I would encourage you, if you don't upload your syllabus for all of your classes, at least upload them for your flex requests. You can also copy flex plans between students and courses. This is helpful because flex plans really should be the same regardless of the student's diagnosis or disability for each class. Once you've completed it, you will scroll down to the bottom, agree to the statement, and initiate and request review. This will cause EAS to look at it, contact you if we have any follow-up questions before we send it off to the student for review, at which point the student will have the opportunity to request any changes, which will then be reviewed by EAS and you to determine if that is acceptable or if it can't be done because it is a fundamental alteration. So know that this gives you power over your course and setting those expectations. You can also view history. So if a student does request changes or EAS requests a change, you can click this View History button and it will show you all of the answers and how they have been submitted. To view a completed one, you just hit View and you'll be able to see it is no longer adjustable, and you can always refer to this if you can't remember the agreement you have made with that student. And this is also emailed to you when it is completed. We also have a video captioning module, which more information will be coming soon. We hope this new mobile-friendly version of AIM will make your life easier in implementing accommodations. If you have any questions about how this update changes things or doesn't change things, how we can support you with accommodations, please reach out. Thank you.